China has violated the trade deal that the United States and China have had in place, according to Donald Trump this morning. Donald Trump woke up upset. Why? Because, in his opinion, he believes that China has violated the terms of a trade deal agreement that was executed between the two countries. But here's the issue: it's unclear whether or not there was a deal ever in the first place. If you recall, a couple weeks back, after negotiations in Switzerland between Secretary Scott Bessent and the Chinese premier or vice premier, they came back and they said that they had some type of framework of a deal. No deal was signed, no terms were released. And now, this morning, Donald Trump released a scathing Truth Social post in which he attacked China, saying that China violated an agreement that folks may never have existed in the first place. Trump went on to say that he's not playing Mr. Nice Guy anymore, that he is going to essentially become tougher on China. Now, a lot of things hang in the balance with this trade deal or lack thereof. The future of TikTok hangs in the balance because if there is no trade agreement between the United States and China, then TikTok's future, well, is unknown at best and dead at worst. In addition, multiple companies will still have to pay higher prices to import goods into the United States of America, like Nike, Adidas, toy companies, and more, if China tariffs remain in place. But the future of tariffs, well, those are really unknown. And as Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, yesterday said, it's, quote, raining tacos. If you know what that means, if you know, you know. Taco refers to the phrase being thrown around on Wall Street that Trump always chickens out. And Governor Newsom said this in response to multiple federal court rulings, essentially overturning Donald Trump's tariffs, saying that they were invalid. Now, yes, one federal court, a federal circuit court of appeals yesterday, essentially put on pause a lower court ruling invalidating Trump's tariffs, but they didn't rule on the merits. And a DC judge, Judge Rudolph Contreras, held in a separate case that Trump's essentially overstepped his executive authority under the IEEPA to institute these Liberation Day tariffs. So we'll see what happens next. Before I continue, if you want to support my work, click the button below, become a paid subscriber to my Substack, or send a one-time donation to Aaron, Aaron-Parnas on Venmo. In addition, Republicans in Florida are having significant buyer's remorse today after ICE raids targeted a construction site in Tallahassee near Florida State University. One such Republican, Jay Cowan, who is a resident of Florida and seems to be either a manager or an owner of the construction site, posted on Facebook saying that, quote, I lost a lot of good men today. I like Trump, but this isn't what I voted for. This will absolutely kill the economy and construction. I thought he was going after gang members and criminals with warrants, not hardworking guys. In other news, Jake Tapper's CNN show, The Lead, has hit its lowest rating in 10 years, averaging only 525,000 viewers last month. Comes after him promoting his new book, which led to the show losing approximately 25% of its audience from the same time last year. A new federal hiring plan from the Office of Personnel Management will require job applicants to the federal government to write essays about their favorite Trump administration policies and how they would help implement them. The initiative eliminates demographic data tracking and equity focused hiring and instead focuses on, quote, patriotism, adherence to, quote, founding principles, and recruitment from faith based institutions. A 2-year-old US citizen has been deported alongside her undocumented parents to Brazil, but here's the problem. She is not a resident of Brazil. She is living on a foreign visa in Brazil, does not have access to healthcare, does not have access to education, and her parents say that they did not have a choice of whether or not to bring her to Brazil or keep her in the United States of America. Donald Trump has nominated 29-year-old Paul Ingrassi to lead the Office of Special Counsel. He's a former far-right podcast host, a 2020 election denier, and previously shared an article advocating for the invocation of martial law to keep Donald Trump in power after his election loss. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is coming under fire after claiming that an undocumented migrant threatened to assassinate Donald Trump, sharing the letter and the suspect's photo online. Authorities now believe that this letter was doctored, was not actually written by the migrant that Kristi Noem accused writing the letter, and he was not charged with any crime. A new study found that 22 out of 23 beers tested contained PFAS, or forever chemicals, raising health concerns about contamination in one of the world's most popular drinks. And Bernard Kirk, the former NYPD commissioner during the 9/11 attacks and later a convicted felon who was pardoned for tax fraud, has died at the age of 69. Folks, that's all the news right now. I'm sure there'll be much more news throughout the day, so stay tuned and spread the word, and I'll see you this evening.